Good morning and welcome to Life.tv. My name's Paul Bursey. My co-presenter is...
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Warren Connolly, as usual, normally is.
Yeah, so we love to talk to you, but we're not going to be here long today. I'm extremely busy, so, I want to keep this to 20 minutes. So here's the headline: strengthen your immune system to help fight... what are we helping fighting? Infection and viruses.
Viruses and illnesses.
Viruses, yeah. So I've got this. I wrote down the actual headline, and I use abbreviations, and sometimes I can't remember what they are. so anyway,
it's called age.
Oh, is it? Oh no, that's worrying. Anyway. You wouldn't think so, but your immune system is an outstanding piece of kit.
Oh, yes.
And when we have the last 18 months or 20 months like we've had, it's very difficult to think of your immune system because you think we're normally worried about things, aren't we? So, but I can tell you now, your immune system is brilliant. So maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. But what does it do? What does the immune system do, in your words, Warren?
It protects our environment, and our environment being us. It protects us, and it allows the body to function properly.
Yeah. Yeah, the bit I saw, obviously protection was one of them, but it monitors and defends our body 24 hours a day, every day of your life.
Yeah.
If you think that you get attacked by, let's say, pick a figure, it really doesn't matter, 100,000 things, there's only a few get through, so it's very effective. If you think in terms of armies, you've got the initial people that rush to the scene, and you've also got the brains in the background that have terrific memory and come in behind the initial force that comes. And as I say, we'll cover that. But as you said, it protects against incursions and invasions, by these pathogenic aliens. And what are these aliens?
Pathogenic aliens.
Yeah, I know. I call them aliens because I don't like them. But what are they? Bacteria? What else?
Yeah, bacteria, fungi, your viruses. Yeah, especially today, that's more relevant than anything else, is the viruses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bacteria, fungi, that kind of stuff. Those are your pathogens.
There's also parasites as well.
And parasites, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're horrible little things. If you were to magnify them, they'd be, you wouldn't like the look of them. But
surprised I forgot that, because in South Africa, you have many parasitical threats or risks. By going into the water, you can have parasites.
Absolutely.
In the air, you have parasites. You have parasites in South Africa. They're still very relevant to daily life in many parts of the country.
Yeah. They can lurk in ponds.
Still waters. Yeah, still water.
Yeah, but as I say, the immune system fights the resulting infections that we get. And to be fair, as I say, there's not that many. But the immune system also protects us against cancers. It's a defense against cancer, and people don't realize that, but
how does it defend against cancers is that it keeps the cells healthy, right? So it keeps the cells in the body healthy. You have 50 trillion cells in your body. And at the moment, any cells in your body start to become toxic over a period of time, that gene changes in the cell. And it means that the new cells that are born become then more susceptible to certain diseases and conditions, right?
Yeah.
This is why the immune system is so important. We don't think about it because it's sitting inside of us. It's a small example of how our body protects us from stuff. Nose hairs. Now, to many people, especially to ladies, this is a bane of their lives. Nose hairs. because the nose hair starts to come out and it looks unsightly, and they collect things. But what are nose hairs' function for? Is to protect our nasal passages, which is how we need to breathe, from toxins or from unwanted pathogens, unwanted dirt, all kinds of stuff like that. So the nose hairs is like a barrier, and that's just a small example of how the body's designed to protect itself. Okay, we used to have a second eyelid, which was designed to protect us from the external weather and stuff like that as well. It's kind of like what camels have. Camels have two eyelids. So it's used to have a second, but that's long since disappeared, obviously. But this is how the body's designed to protect us. And our immune system is the most effective tool for biological warfare. There's a biological warfare going on inside of our bodies all the time. And thanks to our immune system, we're able to get out of bed in the morning, walk around with a cheerful smile on our face, and do the things that we do every day until one day we don't.
What makes us different from the animals? Do you know that?
In terms of the immune system?
Yeah.
I think it's that our immune system is able to adapt.
Spot on. Absolutely, 100% correct. So we've got the innate one,
yes,
which basically is the frontline troops. So you cut yourself, and everyone rushes to the scene with the old alarms going do 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 do. No, and the fire brigade, the army, everything all goes in and does whatever they're going to do, and then we've got the adaptive immune system, which is basically based on memory.
Okay.
So, yeah. And as you say, animals don't have that adaptive immune system.
Adaptive, capability.
Yeah.
Well,
in other words, it learns as it goes along.
Yeah. And this is the same, and this is what, not just with regards to our immune system, but this is what sets us apart from the rest of the animal kingdom in general, is our ability to adapt. There's very few animals that have had the ability to adapt over the lifetime of this planet. If you look at all the species of animals that have lived on this planet since life began, there's only, I think it's less than 5% of all animals that have actually existed over time that have ever lived to tell the tale.
There's no saber-toothed tigers anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's a point. But saber-toothed tigers are extinct, but they are part of the cat family. So the cat family is still here. All right.
Still there.
Yeah, I mean
no dinosaurs, though.
Yeah, no dinosaurs.
Brontosaurus or anything.
Well, you've got dinosaurs. You've got the coelacanth. Coelacanth is a fish which is essentially a dinosaur. Crocodiles are dinosaurs, in effect. So, but
look, I've seen the film Dinosaurs Still There. But it's good. The other thing that people don't think about is that who is the best team member for your immune system, and it's two sides to the immune system. Who's their favorite friend?
The immune system
can be their favorite friend. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. That's us individually.
Oh, us individually, okay.
Yeah, because you can work against your immune system, or you can work with it. And I would always suggest working with it. Otherwise, you could be in for a very painful life, and could be a short-lived life. I don't know. Depends.
Well, the worst case scenario is that you live a long life, and you obviously don't want to cause yourself any harm.
Yeah.
But the worst case scenario is you live a long life and you end up living a very painful long life. But you do cause yourself harm for that reason alone, but you don't want to do that intentionally, right? But very often we cause ourselves harm due to ignorance.
Yeah. So
Paul, but I posted a video that I posted on Facebook, and I very seldom post anything on Facebook these days, but I did. It was a video from Russell Brand.
All right.
And he was talking about what the fast food industry, the foods contain, like McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, that kind of stuff. And 90 95% of it was one type of pathogen. Okay. It's a toxic pathogen, and the other 95% majority of that was another type. So, and I posed it, I said, and if you continue to eat this after watching this video, well, then it's your fault. Then it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
You know? If you know that information and you continue to consume food like that, then don't be surprised if things start going down.
Falling off.
Falling off.
Yeah, falling off. So, the immune system plays a crucial role in the recovery from physical injury, as we say, which is the immune system. Yeah. So we've spoken about that. But if we don't help the immune system, because if it becomes weak, it leaves us vulnerable to all sorts of diseases, which we're not going to go into. So the immune system does a remarkable job, I think. Would you agree?
Oh, of course. I think I've expressed that already. The
fact
that, it does what it does is remarkable in itself.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it fails, and some germs do breach the walls or the dike, as it were, and we get sick. And and sometimes, I know it sounds a bit strange, sometimes we need to get sick. See, I do believe in the herd immunity, but I'm not going to go. We're not going to talk about the current situation at all. But I do believe in herd immunity.
Well, it's funny you had that Freudian slip there. Sorry, Paul, but it's funny you had that Freudian slip, as you said herd community. Okay, and this is how people are behaving.
Sorry, herd immunity. Sorry,
I know that. No.
Yeah, sorry.
You corrected yourself.
Yeah, I think that because look, as a kid, I played in the dirt. Simple as that. Yeah. And yes, were we did we take care of washing and things like that? Yeah, of course we did, but we didn't go mad on it, And I think that you can see one of the things that happens if you wash too much is you reduce the natural oils in your skin, and that's part of your protection, And as I say, look, I don't want to go into it too deeply, but I would say this: I'm a football referee. And I fist bump or shake hands with at least 50 footballers every week. Okay? That's all I'll say. And I make a point of doing it.
Yeah.
So you can like it, you can hate it. This is one of those things. It's something I will continue to do.
You live in England.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously. And if you've ever traveled in the subway, in the tubes,
all the time,
you are living in a toxic environment.
An incubation.
The amount of toxins that are inside a tube, one train, on that seat that you're sitting on, that handle that you're holding onto. If you go to a gym and you train in a gym, the amount of gunk that is, no matter how much they clean it.
Yeah.
Your body is confronted with these toxins or these bacteria and fungus and all kinds of stuff all the time. If you live in a city where you have public transport on that amount, that massive public transport. I mean, I'm sure it's the same here in Budapest with the public transport. It always looks clean, but you never get rid of all those different bacteria and fungi that are lurking around everywhere. And it's the same can be said for gyms as well. So, fist pumping and shaking hands with people is really nothing in comparison to what most people encounter every day. And they just don't think about that. Then they get told, then it's like all of a sudden, like washing your hands is like it's a scientific miracle.
I think a lot of this stuff is about optics. It's also about giving people confidence that they're doing something towards it. I think that's half what the battle is, and if people want to do that, that's great. That's fantastic. So I'm not against anything. I know what I do and what I don't do.
If that makes you feel safe, washing your hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think, even seeing people in masks, sometimes think, well, okay, they're taking steps. And that, if that's what people need to give them confidence, then great. It doesn't really bother me. So
Just don't discount what your body's actually doing to help the cause.
Oh yeah, that's the miracle.
Uh-huh.
That's the miracle. Now, is it possible to intervene in this process as far as strengthening your immune system and boost the obvious? Is it possible?
Oh yeah, both sides of the coin, definitely.
Yeah.
And 95% of the people are on the other side of the coin, the side of the coin that you don't want to be on.
No, that's right. That's right. And is there a miracle cure? No, there isn't. Okay, there isn't. We have to. I think expose ourselves to the elements.
Yeah.
And prepare our body for what might come along, rather than shying away. And so being indoors is the worst incubator you can have, and as you say, on a train is even worse because of the amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
But being outside is brilliant. I think be outside as much as you can without causing yourself too much damage with the sun if you've got any.
But that in itself is going to help your immune system in any case.
Absolutely.
We've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
And especially now in winter coming, you can get outside for 5-10 minutes. Do it. Go for it. If it's as little as that, but do something. Get some sunlight.
So, what if you improve your diet? Okay, what would you suggest? Okay, because there's no one cure fits all.
No, there's no one size fits all. No.
But
what would I recommend?
Yeah, lifestyle changes, or
in terms of diet.
In terms of anything.
In terms of anything.
Well, anything to do with helping your immune system.
Okay, well, seeing that you mentioned diet, let's talk about food then. So, if you want to help your immune system, then you've literally, in my opinion, you've literally got to go cold turkey, and you've got to do a cleanse. That's key. You have to clean your system out. You have to go to do a food cleanse, and then allow your body to breathe by eating clean, healthy foods.
Mm-hmm.
If, like in my case, I don't necessarily need to eat clean, healthy foods all the time because my body is predominantly clean in any case. So I can afford to have the things here, there, and everywhere. But for the most part, their bodies are not clean. Their bodies are toxic inside. Yeah. So you need to do a cleanse. It's so important. But unfortunately, people give up after 2 days, or even 1 day. They give up, because they start getting headaches and they get tired. And so but you need to. And this is the body getting rid of the toxins. When you start getting headaches and you're feeling tired and it feels like a bus hit you, that's your body getting rid of toxins. All right. So that's the sign from the body saying like, thank you. Yeah. And I use the phrase cold turkey because again, when you're excreting toxins out of your system or releasing toxins out of your system, you're going to get withdrawal symptoms. That's a given. So that's the first step is a cleanse. I'm not talking about a flush or a detox. I'm talking about a cleanse, like where you're literally just substituting everything in your pantry for clean, healthy, fresh foods. Yeah. Whether it's cooked or raw, that's not really the point at this point in time. It's just got to be clean. And if your grandparents, or in some cases, your great grandparents can recognize it, then that's what you want to be eating. If they look at it and they think, "Ooh, what is that? I don't recognize that," then that's not what you want to be eating. You go with that. You clean the system out. Once you clean the system out, then you can start taking other interventions.
Yeah, I've been on a cleanse now for 2.5 years. And it's a gradual thing, and I like the fact that it's not this. Oh, I've got to go into a hospital for 2 weeks to have this big, colonic irrigation or whatever, or whatever it may be.
A colonic irrigation for 2 weeks.
Can you
imagine?
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
You'd be sucked in. But what I'm saying is, It's not an event. That's what I'm trying to say. You can do it gradually and keep chipping away. So your body, That way you don't necessarily get too many withdrawal symptoms because it's a gradual thing. And that's the way I like to do it, And I mean, look, boosting the immune system is enticing, it's exciting. No, I won't say exciting, but it's enticing because you feel great. But for most, it proves elusive, and they wouldn't know what to do, And bear in mind, your immune system is exactly that. It's a system. It's not just an entity on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So a system requires a system to work with it.
It requires a system.
So,
but allowing the system to do its job, it can actually sustain you for as long as you decide you want to live. Or be on this planet.
Yeah,
because it's the system. It's if you provide it with the right energy source, it's going to continue to do its work for you. Unless, of course, you have some kind of genetic predisposition, then that's not something.
Yeah, I mean, there are always going to be little unique things for us individuals. But I think, I see it's the key is balance and harmony. Right? I think that it sounds good as well, and that's what you should be aiming for. And if you've got any problems, you can ask us how we do it. But that's up to you. But balance and harmony, I think it's what you should be aiming for. What are the dangers of an inadequate or disturbed immune function? Because this is really real, if we don't help, as us human beings, help our own immune system.
Oh, death is one of the consequences possible.
Yeah.
Possible consequences, death.
Yeah.
Loss of livelihood is another one. Yeah. If you're too sick, gone are the days where you get boarded and you get paid to sit at home.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. If you're sick and you can't work, you're going to lose your job. I'm sorry. And I've seen it where CEOs with 25 years of experience in a business get sick and they get released. Gone. Sorry.
Yeah.
So those are the two major consequences of allowing your immune system to take a downhill slide. And the other stuff is really, it's, if you're thinking about where people are thinking today, holding on to their livelihood, their income, these kind of things, and life, because many people are scared today of their lives, for their lives. Those are the two biggest consequences.
Scared and also being threatened as well.
Yeah.
Story, but we, look. The other thing is we cannot rely on antibiotics to win the day, because it's if you take too many of them, your body just won't react to them. It'll just go, oh yeah, I don't want them. Not because you've got the rise of superbugs and things like that as resistant to those types of things. But moving on from that, I think that what I noticed, when I take an antibiotic, it works. And the reason it works is because it's very rare for me to take them. If I use antibiotics once in a year, I think that's too much for me. So, but actually, when I actually take something now, which is absolutely rare, and it's normally years between, it actually will work on me. I think that the percentage-wise, I think this is how I see it. It may not be exactly correct, okay, but my life is based on, let's say, 95% good stuff, and maybe a couple of percentage points of antibiotics. This is a bad year, right? Okay. Other people seem to have it the other way around, and they go and they get crammed full of pharmaceuticals, and they've got a little bit of goodness at the end of it. That just isn't going to work. It can never work, and that's not the function of the pharmaceutical industry.
That's not what the function of the pharmaceutical industry is supposed to be.
No, that's right. Yeah. But it appears that it's all about profit.
Sure.
Yeah. Look, business has to have profit. There's no doubt about it. Otherwise, it won't exist. But the profit shouldn't be the main driver.
Well, this is something else. I mean, you just look at what's the most prominent thing that they look at with a country these days, a country's success, to determine whether a country's successful or not. It's the GDP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that in itself tells you that there's something wrong there. If that's what they're looking at, the bottom line, as a marker of success, then there's something wrong there. And unfortunately, this is the way it seems to be going with many companies out there. This is the primary focus, is that bottom line. They're not worried too much about whether you're taking too many antibiotics or not. It should be, like you say, that other 5%. That's it, maximum. Yeah. As part of our lives. Medication and antibiotics. It's not meant to be that out of balance or overbalanced in favor of antibiotics, and that's meant to be a last resort. But we're supposed to look after ourselves and allow our body to look after itself.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, go on. I was just going to say that again. I'm going to say that book there. By Dr. Paul Clayton, Strengthening Your Immune System. Brilliant book that explains the next bit that we're going to speak about in a minute. And that is, no, I'll say that for me. I'll say that. Hang on. Right. So, look, I want to make the case for investing in a strong immune system. So that's what I work on. That's what a lot of my colleagues work on. We know that science is going to change as we move along, and it should constantly change as we find out new things. But some of the best practices, as we know, we talk about all the time, a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, oily fish, whole grains, adequate sleep, exercise, reasonable amounts of exercise, and stress reduction when it's needed. But it should also include, I think, this is my personal opinion, nutritional supplements. Because they provide a baseline, and it gives you a whole spectrum of support when it comes to that type of thing,
Well, not just that, Paul. It's not just that they provide a baseline and a whole spectrum of support. It's that a lot of what you find in, for example, nutritional supplements that are natural in their source and also of high quality, they provide nutrients for our body that we just can't get from food anymore.
That's right.
And even if you can, that food is too expensive for the average person on the street to be consuming every day or every week.
Because that's because of because of the way it's grown, I don't know, but even sort of fruit and veg, you'd have to have, they talk about having 5 portions a day, which is a fist size. Little fist, but so I use someone else's fist. But with the way the quality of the food now, you probably need about 10 to 12
fist size
amounts to even stay, up at a reasonable level. So supplementation is very important. But I will, as a bit of a word of warning with supplementation, it has to, you mentioned it there, it has to be totally natural, and it has to be great quality. If you haven't got those two things, forget it. All right? Because there's a lot of rubbish out there.
Well, I'll reiterate what I have brought up in the past, is that the reason being it needs to be natural is because when it comes from a chemical-based or chemical source, the body has to compensate for that.
Yes.
So it's going to, where you're gaining somewhere, you're losing somewhere else if it comes from a chemical source. But if it comes from a natural source, then you're on a winning wicket there. Right.
So finishing up, I just want to concentrate on one little thing. Well, it's not little, but it's one thing.
It is little.
That's what to include in your diet. And we're just going to talk about one thing, and that is beta glucans, 1 to 3 and 1 to 6 beta glucans. Now, just very quickly, in modern times, in olden times, I should say, in Victorian
olden times.
I was going to say something else, but I'm going to. So in sort of olden times, people used to eat thousands of calories a day, okay, because they worked on the land, and everything they ate was healthy. Where they fell down in Victorian times was the cleanliness. Okay,
hygiene.
Like we talk about washing hands and things like that. All that type of stuff was poor.
Yeah.
Okay, the food was great.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah.
Yeah. So now the food is not so great, and it's too much cleanliness. So. And what is 1 to 3, 1 to 6 beta glucans? Basically, they're brewer's yeast. Generally, that's the best one. They're dietary fibres, and associated with prevention of the modern day diseases like type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, and other ones as well. They are the most effective ways of staying healthy. Okay, it's not the only thing, but they are the most effective. And when they did a scoring sort of table, they came out absolute top. And the reason being is that with food these days, heavily processed, heavily sterilized, and it kills beta glucans. Okay, processing food, and they've just removed them from everything. Now we're starting to put them back in. As Brian said, there's no quick fixes. No, there isn't. You're right. There is no quick fixes. But modern technology basically effectively sterilised our food chain and our environment as well.
Sorry, I'm just reading a comment.
All right. Okay. Oh, we'll cover that in a minute, but we're nearly done.
Not Rosie's one, but Brian's one. What are you wearing, Paul?
Sorry?
What are you wearing, Paul? He wants to know.
What am I wearing? What do you mean? What am I wearing? Yes, I'll tell you. It's
I was wondering the same question earlier on, Brian, when Paul and I were chatting before the call. I was wondering, what is he wearing?
I don't care. What I will say, it's very warm.
It looks very warm. Yeah,
very warm.
It looks.
I'll have a call out for the company, Carrymore. Okay. Okay. Very good. Excellent top.
Yes, very good quality.
I mean, I can strip off if you want. I mean, look, I've got strip here underneath, but that would scare most people. So, and I don't get scared by the muscles.
It reminds me of those wool-lined jackets you used to get with the almost like a chamois type of material, like a leather on the outside.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. It's quite.
It reminds me of that.
Woolly, actually.
Okay, it's cool.
Anyway, enough about my superb fashion tips.
Brian says you should care.
I don't, all right?
And Rosie's coming to your defense. She's got her gloves raised.
Look, leave me alone. Anyway, so we've got to put it back in our, put the beta glucans back in our diet.
Yes.
And
look for sources if you can. If you can't find sources, come and speak to Paul.
Come and speak to us, and and they've got, again, they have to be top quality ones. You can't. There's loads out there that are rubbish, so be careful. All right. So beta glucans. That's one of the ways that you can prevent disease. One of the ways. Okay, and it's a great supplement you can add to your diet. So if you need any, I can give you references and you can read it. I've got stuff from Harvard University and everything that backs up the claim, 100%. So, and books and different things like that. So with that,
hang on, I'm just going to read Rosie's comment, seeing that she's put it out here for us.
Okay.
Hey guys, I've always tried the quick fix, which is why I'm still a yo-yo health-wise. Yeah, look, Rosie, yo-yo is it's an age-old, it's a modern-day age-old thing, well done, Paul. I remember the owner of the company that I was first involved with when it comes to nutrition back in the early 2000s. He created the company because his mother died from the exact same thing, from yo-yo dieting. She died as a consequence of that. And people don't realize what that does to your system over the long term, especially when it's drastic yo-yoing. Yeah, most of us live on a kind of like a slight equilibrium when it comes to yo-yo dieting. It's not that drastic. It's not that up and down. But for many people out there, it's diuretics and then it's poof, straight back up again. Diuretics and then poof, straight back up again. So it is an important thing to factor to take into account. If you are a yo-yo dieter, then you want to start looking at your immune system, because your immune system will be critically compromised. Antibiotics should be a final support, not the be-all and end-all of keeping fit 100%. My sons have had antibiotics maybe twice in their lives, and they are in their mid to late 20s. Oh, I thought you're much younger than that, Rosie. Health and government organizations, I believe, all work together to create illness. Well, yeah, that's a different conversation for a different platform, but yeah, you've got me there too. Poor quality of ingredients and food to get people to really on drugs to get, yeah. This is it. This is the modern day, and unfortunately we've become so accustomed to the developments and the advancements of society and science and technology and everything that people just accept it when it happens. Yeah, it's put in front of us, and the majority of people just, Paul had a Freudian slip early on, and he, instead of saying herd immunity, he said herd community, but that's actually very apt. Very apt. So
yeah, that sounds about right. Me making a mistake and it being apt. Yeah. So this is the type of abuse we get on it. I'm only joking. Look, it's Brian. What are you wearing, Paul? I mean, come on. Is that important?
Yes.
Really? And I didn't have a shave this morning either.
Where?
Right. Hide the current comment. Right. I've only just learned to do that. 150 of these I've done. I've only just seen the thing, the press. Oh, dear. I'm a slow learner. Anyway, we're done.
Yes, on that.
Beta-glucans, 1 to 3, 1 to 6 beta-glucans. Brilliant stuff. High dietary fiber. And the best one, what do we say? The best one? You can get it from mushrooms and things like that, but the best one is obviously from brewer's yeast. Brewer's yeast. So with that, unless you want to add anything, young Warren.
No, thank you, young sir. No, thank you.
I like it when you say, yeah, I'm young. I feel young. I actually do feel young. Anyway, it's time to go. We've wasted enough of people's time.
You should feel young. You're using the world's best nutrition. You should feel young.
Lovely. All right, fantastic. Have a great weekend later in the week, because it's a Wednesday and not Friday like we used to do. And we're going to crack on and get healthier. So see you soon, everyone. See you later.
Enjoy. Take care, everyone. Love to hear your feedback on what we've been talking about and what sources that you are using for yourself to keep your own immune system boosted. Send us your feedback on that.
And last thing, if you're going to show any feelings, please make it love.
Yes.
Because Facebook loves love.
Love.
Not likes, love. And if you comment, we will comment back.
Yes, we will.
Anyway, have a great day, everyone.
Okay.
And we'll speak soon.
All right. Take care.
See ya.